Hello everyone, my name is Nicole Lynn and this is my channel where I talk about all things Disney, duh. And today we are going to be talking about how to beat the heat on your Disney vacation. Because if you have never been to Florida, or it's been a while, or maybe you've never been to Florida in the summer, it is hot. Needless to say, and you want to be prepared for that. So but before we get started, I did want to tell you guys about my May giveaway. So for every month of the summer I'm going to be doing a giveaway, and for the month of May I'm going to be doing these right here. These are the ColourPop Disney lines. I don't know if you guys have heard of their ColourPop's Disney lines. They have a princess line, which is actually pretty old now. It's been around for a while, and then they have the newer fill-in line. So I have both of the palettes from those makeup lines. Basically all you have to do for the chance to win one of these is you are going to hit subscribe to my channel, and then in the comments below you are going to either put princess or villain depending on which palette you want to win. If you really want to be entered to win both, you can enter. Just know that you're only going to win one of them. And don't forget to put some way for me to contact you, either like a social media platform that I can reach you at, or an email address, whatever you're comfortable with putting. And so yeah, today is actually your last chance to enter, so absolutely let me know which one you want. Princess, villain, both, I don't know. Like I said, you'll only win one, but it's really exciting, and tomorrow I will be emailing those winners so you will know. And yeah, so if you guys are looking for more details about those or the giveaway, go ahead and look at my show notes below. And I don't know, I'm really excited. So I think we're good to go ahead and get started. So for beating the heat in Florida. So first of all, what you have to understand is that Florida heat, if you have never been to Florida, or if you've never been to Florida in the summer, it is not like summer anywhere else. Like, I grew up in the north, in Illinois, and I was used to very dry heat, where yeah, it could get pretty hot in the summer, but I was not used to humidity. We had humid days, but nothing like Florida. It's different. It's really wet, it's really heavy, and it can take a lot out of you, especially on those crazy humid days. Because when I went there, I was actually a part of the Disney College program, if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, and I worked as a skipper on the Jungle Cruise, which meant I pretty much worked outside all day. And even our break rooms are really, our main break room is not an outdoor one. It's like this makeshift tent backstage. So it was pretty much outside 24/7 last summer when I was at work. And let me tell you, there were days that it was just plain hot. Like, I loved Florida weather. Some people are not big fans of how humid it is. I personally thought it was great, but again, like I said, sometimes it's just like, nope, this is just hot. So we don't want you to get down on your vacation. We want you to enjoy your time and just help you be prepared for when it's. So to be prepared to beat the heat at Disney, the first thing you have to do is you have to pack for it. So just keep in mind that the clothes that you are going to wear in the park need to be clothes that you are comfortable sweating in, because you will sweat. Unfortunately, when it's humid like it is, you're already just kind of like damp, and then you're hot, so then you sweat. So just remember that whatever you wear, make sure it is breathable fabric, it is lightweight, and you can sweat in it without feeling really gross and awful, and chafing happens. Enough said. But also I definitely recommend, beyond just like the fabrics and being lightweight, is also consider going for lighter colors, because you're already gonna be pretty hot, and then you don't want to be wearing like a black shirt that's gonna make you feel that much hotter. Like, and as a girl who, I've got some curves on me, I tend to lean towards darker colors because lighter colors show off a little bit more than I'd like sometimes. But at the end of the day, like, you want to be comfortable, so just try and find clothes that are maybe not quite dark colors, and like I said, lightweight, breathable. And I'm not saying you can't look cute. Like, I am somebody who strives in my life to be comfortable but also cute. So don't think I'm saying that you have to look like a bum or that you have to wear workout clothes for your entire vacation. Just when you're shopping for your vacation or you're going through your closet, just think of clothes, like I said, like that you're gonna sweat in, like, because that is for sure gonna happen. I'm personally a really big fan of sundresses. I find them very breathable, very lightweight. When I wear dresses, I pretty much always wear Spanx or bike shorts underneath them, or just some type of shorts, typically athletic shorts, just because it's not even just like to kind of suck you in, because I'm not always a fan of them being really tight. It's just more or less, there's a lot going on, you know, you're getting in on and off rides. We typically have kids in our party. Like, you're sitting down and getting up a lot. Like, I just don't need everybody to know what's going on underneath. So I'm a big fan. And also, like, let's be honest, like, chafing is a thing, chub rub, that happens. So Spanx are your best bet against that. So other things to consider packing are things to help make sure that you're staying fresh in the park. So you can do anything from, we typically, of course, like for our hotel, my husband is a big fan of Gold Bond, but I even pack a baby size travel Gold Bond for the parks. I used to put a small thing of baby powder in there for me. You know, if you're feeling kind of gross, like you could just like kind of pat that on you, it kind of freshens you up. But actually I've learned that dry shampoo, like just one of those mini bottles of dry shampoo, neither of those things are gonna take up a lot of room in your park bag. And just every once in a while, when you just kind of need to like freshen up, you just go ahead, and I normally kind of spray between my legs, and maybe I usually have like a little stick of deodorant, just to keep things fresh, you know what I mean, for when you're in the parks. Don't forget that you also want to pack your sunscreen. And remember, this is really important. Like, I'm not going to go into sun care. You guys have heard it. You know about ultraviolet rays. You don't want to get sunburned on your vacation, you know. And just remember that even on cloudy days, you can get a sunburn. Doesn't mean because the sun's not out that you can't get a sunburn. So make sure that you're making good choices when it comes to your skin. Putting on sunscreen, like I said, maybe even bringing a little thing of sunscreen into the parks with you, because you are going to be sweating a lot, so you probably want to freshen that up every once in a while. Hats are great for making sure that your head doesn't get sunburnt, because I've done that way too many times in my life, and it's never comfortable, and I hate when my scalp gets dry from sunburn. So definitely hats, sunscreen, all that fun stuff. So another product that you can buy before you even go that would help you with heat is actually called Frog Tog towels. They are basically, actually we kind of threw ours out because it got a little gross, so I'm sorry I don't have an example for you. Frog Tog towels are basically these like foam towels that you keep in this plastic container, and it's basically like there's something about the towel that when you put it underwater, and in particular you're supposed to put it under hot water, and then when you get outside and it reacts with the hot air, it makes the towel feel cold. So it like gets, it's a like this, like I said, this like little foam towel that you roll up and you put it in this plastic container, and then later when you feel really overheated or really hot, you can pull it out and it feels cold, and it really does work. Like, it actually does feel cold. For me, the issue was it took up a lot of room in my bag. It's pretty decent size. It's like this big, and like I use my Vera Bradley hipster bag, if you guys know what those look like, and it was almost too tall. It was like too tall for me to really be able to zip my bag up. Like, I think I could just barely zip it if it was in there, and it just like took up a big chunk of my bag. So if you're already going to be there and you know you're going to be like having a backpack, or maybe you have a stroller with you, it's not going to take up that much extra room. But if you don't like taking in a big park bag, then this is probably not going to be for you, because it's a decent size. This is definitely not a like must. It's just if you are somebody who you know you get overheated easily, it's worth considering. Disney does sell a version of it in the park. They're like these towels. They have a Mickey Minnie version. but I think they're like $24 a piece, and the Frog Tog ones are definitely cheaper. We bought ours on Amazon. I know you can buy them at most sports stores, so like Bass Pro Shop and all that. So it's great definitely for kids, and just in general if you know you're gonna get overheated. My husband, I think he liked it a little bit more than I did, because he liked pulling it out, putting it on his neck, and like it helped him cool off a little bit if it was just we were standing outside in a queue and he was just like getting really hot. So it helps. Another great thing to pack to help you beat the heat for your Disney vacation is a reusable water bottle. This is definitely up to you. Basically, when you're there at Disney, you need to be hydrating. So there's a bunch of different options for you when it comes to drinking water. So basically what you can do is you could bring a reusable water bottle into the park, and that way you can fill it up at the resort and bring it into the park, and then keep filling up throughout the day. And then if you go to like a quick service location and you ask for free cups of water, which by the way, any quick service location is not going to charge you for water. And it is filtered water. It is not Florida tap, and it will have ice in it. So instead of you having to like drink those little like 8-ounce cups really quickly, all you have to do is just like pour in your water bottle and move on with your life, and then you have it. Or you can literally even ask them for a cup of ice, and you can just fill it up and let it melt over the day. However, if you don't feel like lugging a water bottle around, which that's completely understandable, then like I said, you can always ask for free water. If you don't want to pay for, like, I don't even know how much water bottles are now. I think they're probably around $4 each. That would add up pretty quickly. So you could also consider, if you are not driving to Disney and you are not able to purchase packs of water bottles that you can bring to your resort and grab a few on your way into the parks, then what you can do is you can also use the Disney grocery service, which is a system. It is a grocery that actually you can order stuff online, and they will deliver it to your room, to like your resort room, like, and you decide which day you want them to bring it. My family's used that before. You can also use Amazon Prime, so you can actually order your water to your resort. I believe now you have to go down to your the front desk and pick it up. I've never used Prime, just know you can use it for Disney, so if you want to do a little bit of research on that. But that is probably the cheapest option if you are not driving, you don't have a rental car to go to Walmart or anything. But just consider bringing some type of water bottles or reusable water bottle to help you stay hydrated in the parks. And I just like cannot stress this enough, guys, like how important it is to stay hydrated. As somebody who did work there, we had on so many occasions people pass out in our queues, and it was just really not fun to have to call an alpha for those families. Sometimes those people end up having to be taken to the hospital because of heat stroke or heat exhaustion. It's really serious, and so it's really important for you to be taking care of yourself and drinking water. And I know that some people are not really big fans of drinking water. You like to have flavor in your drink, and I get that. So consider that if you are not a fan of just drinking straight water, bringing Crystal Light packets or just some type of flavoring packet, throw it in your park bag, and anytime they have a water bottle, just blend some of that in there and drink it. And that way at least you're going to be hydrated. And remember that things like caffeine and alcohol dehydrate you more. So if you are drinking those things, like you're drinking soda with caffeine, if you're drinking coffee, or if you're drinking alcohol, that means you need to take in more water because those things dehydrate you. So yes, just remember that like you can't drink soda your entire vacation. Like, you're gonna get sick. As a cast member, Disney actually provides us water bottles like the cast members. You probably see them all the time. We have them typically hooked to our belts. They're those black water bottles. And during the summer when it's hot, we are advised to drink 4 cups of water every single hour. So one of those cast member water bottles that we have, we are supposed to drink one of those an hour. That's 16 ounces. And let me tell you that I think it was also because I was talking a lot in my job. It was easy to do that. It was easy to drink an entire 4 cups of water in the hour. And you would think, well, didn't you have to go to the bathroom all the time? No, I didn't have to go to the bathroom all the time because I sweat it out. Like, my body was using it to keep me, you know, cool and keep me hydrated. And for the most part, no, I didn't have to go to the bathroom every hour. Like, yeah, so drink your water. You will feel so much better. Trust me, you don't want to pass out. You don't want to deal with headaches. You don't want to be cranky. Like, dehydration is not fun. So stay hydrated so you can enjoy your Disney vacation. All right, so that kind of covers like what you can do to pack or before you even get there to figure out things that are gonna help you beat the heat. So what do you do when you're actually there in the parks and it's hot? So my first tip for you is try and get up and get there in the morning. You probably heard this tip for lines, for rides and attractions. It's just the crowds are gonna be better in the morning. So I'm not even necessarily saying you have to rope drop, just saying that the earlier you get into the parks, the better. Because guess what happens in the middle of the day? The middle of the day is when the lines are the longest, the crowds are the highest, and it's the hottest. Also in Florida, you are regularly going to deal with those afternoon summer thunderstorms that roll in typically around 1 p.m. Normally are gone by 3. Like, you're not usually dealing with them too long, but you never know. I'm just saying, like, that's the time of the day that it's not great. So if you just get there when the park opens around 8 or 9, you know, you already got quite a few park hours already in. You're not dealing with as many crowds. It's not as hot in the morning typically. So I just recommend starting your day early. And then what my family did is that we actually would leave midday. So I'm going to go over if you are a midday person where you like to go back to your resort, or if you are an all-day person. And we will go over that here in a second, and I have tips for you guys. So like I said, my family, we have always been the type of people that we leave the park around lunchtime. I think it's just because we've always had little ones in our group. We have always stayed on Disney property. So it just made sense for us to go back to the resort at this time so that the kids could take naps. And so we could kind of enjoy our resort during our vacation. You're paying a lot of money to be at that resort. So we appreciated having some time there. And this was just normally, like I said, the crowds were getting the worst. So typically we would eat lunch and we would get on the bus and go back to the resort. This was a good time for us to go swimming if weather was permitting. If it was raining, then typically some of us would take a nap. Sometimes we would play cards in our room. Some of us would just sit and enjoy snacks at our resort that we had, or we would watch a movie or watch TV together. Like, basically it was just time away from the crowds where we still spent time together, but it just wasn't in the parks. And then later, like after a few hours, and like I said, like the kids had their naps, we either went swimming and all kind of got changed back into our park clothes, we would go back into the parks in the evening when, again, nighttime, the crowds go down, it's not as hot, and that's how we typically do it. This is just a really good way for you to kind of like refresh. For some people, I understand that it does not make sense for you to leave the park in the middle of the day. Like I said, you either do not stay on Disney property, so it would be just a kind of a waste for you to have to go all the way back to wherever you were staying. Maybe you're not gonna be there for very long, you're only going in for a few days and you're just trying to get as much out of your vacation as possible. It just doesn't make sense for you to leave, or you're committed, you don't have little kids, or your kids take naps somehow in the park, and you are committed to getting the most value out of that ticket and staying all day. I get you. So there are still ways for you to cool off even when you are in the parks. One thing I would recommend is at least once a day finding a table service to sit down and eat at for one of your meals, whether that be lunch or dinner. Just find an indoor location with air conditioning that you can sit down and eat a meal. One, because table service locations, those meals usually take a little bit longer. You're normally going to be seated for at least 45 minutes to like an hour and a half, depending on where it is, how busy it is, size of your party. It gives you time to just sit down, relax, and like I said, enjoy your food, drink some water. before going out into the crowds and the heat. Obviously there are quick service locations that you can do this. Just remember, like I said, try and find somewhere indoors with air conditioning for you to be able to do that. I just recommend table service because, like I said, they're normally longer meals. One thing to consider is that even if you're not staying on property, you can always go to a resort for a meal. So like if you're at Magic Kingdom, you can always take the monorail over to the Contemporary or Grand Floridian or the Polynesian. All of those have quick service and table service locations that you can eat. And I understand like you're leaving the park, but they're not that far and the transportation is pretty easy. So if you're just kind of looking to get away from the crowds and eat it in like a meal, a lot of times people don't think to go to resorts, especially for lunch. So if you're looking for a nice quiet lunch inside that is not in the parks when you're gonna be reaching some peak meal times, like I would recommend even for like Epcot, you could go over to Yacht and Beach Club or over to Boardwalk. They have some great locations over there, and you can there is that little exit by World Showcase for you to go use those locations. So consider going to a resort for lunch if you don't want to do one in your park. And it's not going to add that much extra time or that much of an extra step for you to be able to do that if you're staying close to the park. And you can use the free Disney transportation. You never have to have a reservation to visit resorts or eat there. You might need a dining reservation, but you don't have to have a hotel reservation there. But yeah. So another thing that you can do is, of course, you can just find like some indoor attractions that are a little bit longer. They're indoor and they are air conditioned. I remember working at Jungle Cruise. Of course, people would walk up to me. They would walk up to me and they would point to the Enchanted Tiki Room and be like, "What's that?" I'd be like, "Yeah, that's the Enchanted Tiki Room." And I try to explain them as a show with singing birds, and sometimes their face looked like, oh, like that. Like they looked really uninterested, which I love the Tiki Room. So I was always kind of like, but it's great. And I always try to hype it up. But the main thing that I could get people to go over there was like, well, it's air conditioned and it's indoors, so, and they would be like, "We're going right now." And like, I'm pretty sure Tiki Room is a 12-minute show, something along those lines. So that is a good 12 minutes for you to sit in there, enjoy the AC, enjoy the music. It's like, so it's finding every single park at Disney has shows like this. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not a huge fan of Finding Nemo, the musical, over at Animal Kingdom. I really don't like that show. I like Finding Nemo, but I think it's the music. I don't know. And honestly, the kid who plays Nemo kind of annoys me. I'm sorry. It's a cool show. I'd recommend it, but it's not my favorite. I've seen that thing like at least 3 times because I've just decided I really want to sit somewhere in air conditioning for a good 25 minutes, especially at Animal Kingdom, which is the hottest park. It's good to find those times of the day where you're like, you know what, this would be a really good time to go ride Living with the Land. It's indoors, you're sitting, it's air conditioned. May not be your favorite attraction, that's fine. Just, if anything, ask a cast member if you're not sure. Like, just find, hey, where is the next attraction that is like an indoor theater with air conditioning? They will be able to help you out. They are probably used to that question and they're probably used to people. So those are my tips for you guys. Let me know if I forgot anything, if you have any tips about beating the heat at Disney. And just hope you guys are having a great summer so far. And don't forget about these giveaways. Remember, today is the last day. So like I said, go ahead and put princess or villain in my in the comments below. Wait for me to contact you, and I will be picking one of 2 of you to win one tomorrow. So I'm really excited. So don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. If you guys want to get more videos about the Disney College program and Disney content in general, go and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and where will you make magic today? Bye!